Okay, so I've been meaning to make this guide for a very long time, but I've been busy with other stuff. So finally, I had some extra time. So I thought, why not just record the video and put it out there finally. So what I'm going to do in this video, just as an introduction, is I am going to explain to you how exactly I modify Dragunov's combos for all the different situations. We are going to talk about everything, like heat, rage, walls, floor breaks, every single thing. And we're going to start at the very basics, like at the very basics. I'm going to start by explaining how combos work in Tekken in general. The reason I'm starting at that point is because we want to build a coherent and a shared understanding of how combos work, so that when I explain to you certain choices that I make, you understand why I make those choices. So let's start with the absolute basics. How does a combo actually work in Taken 7? I'm pretty sure most people understand this, but just for the sake of completion, let's still go over it. Basically, you have designated launchers. Unlike 2D games, you don't have special cancels, you don't have EX cancels. Instead, you have special moves designated as launchers that render the opponent airborne. And once the opponent is airborne, you can follow up with different strings. You can choose which string you want to follow up with out of all of the strings that your character has. Most of the strings will work, but there are some strings that just don't work. For example, back for 2, this just spikes the opponent to the ground, just drops them straight down, so you're not going to be able to continue the combo even though it gives you 31 damage. So 4-1 in this case, for example, is your best bet, and is a very common combo filler for Dragunov. So what you're going to do, if you're learning a new character, you can go through their move list, find the launcher, find a move that you can connect and continue the combo with, and then you can find a bound move with that character. So what bound moves do is that they extend the combo. They allow you to extend the combo for one last finisher. So for example, continuing with our example, down for 2, 4-1, forward 4-3 is Dragunov's very basic bound move. Dragunov and all the other characters have multiple bound moves. So depending on the situation, you can choose to go with a different bound move if you want, right? So the choice essentially comes down to two things: if you're going through a new character, what you're looking for when you're picking out these combo fillers or your bound moves. What you're looking for are two things essentially. One is damage. For example, for Dragunov, 4-1 does more damage than back to 1, right? It's even though it's a single point of damage, it's still a difference, and that's what you would go for. But if you pay attention, back to 1 and 4-1, the main difference is that 4-1 is very forward moving move. Look at Dragunov where he's standing, and look at when I'm done with the move, how far Dragunov has moved. So this is going to cover a lot more wall carry automatically. So you pay attention to how forward moving any string is. For example, Dragunov's 4-4 is very forward advancing, right? So from down forward to his most BNB route is actually continuing through 4-4. But continuing with our example, 4-1 forward 4-3 gives us a bound, and then you can finish out with with any different any move that you want to go with. The easiest move here would be forward 4-3 for Dragunov. So put everything together: 4-1 forward 4-3 forward 4-3. Right, this is a very basic combo, but you have a full combo that you can take the principles of and apply to any character that you're learning. Now the key things you need to understand is that there are two main ways that infinites are prevented in Taken. There are if you play other fighting games, you would know that fighting games are notorious for infinites where you can just juggle the opponent until they die. So in order to prevent that, what modern games do is that they scale the damage down and they increase the gravity, increase or decrease the gravity such that each hit throws the opponent further away from you. So essentially making it so that you can't continue the combo indefinitely. So if you look at the bottom left corner, the box there, it has the damage value explained. You can see when I press a very simple jab, it tells me how much damage it did and how much scaling it had. It had 100% scaling, which means that this move does 5 points of damage and the opponent was hit for the full 5 points of damage. However, if I launch the opponent, you can see down for 2 does 14 points of damage at 100% scaling. But for 1, with each hit, the scaling comes down. So even though if I tell Kazuya to not follow me and just hit them with the last hit, you see it does 17 damage at 100% scaling. But during the combo, it was at 50% scaling, so it only did 8 points of damage. Even though in neutral, if the opponent wasn't juggled, they would eat. If they ate this move, they would be hit for 17 points of damage during a juggle. Because of combo scaling, each consecutive hit does less amount of damage. So what that automatically implies is that you want to front load your combos with the damage. So any damage you want to do, you want to do the maximum damaging hits up front is the basic concept. For example, if I have a different launcher like Quad Circle Forward 2 right here, I can go with any move, right? 4-1 will work here, back 3-1 will work here. I can go with any move that I want. I can even bound immediately with the another Quad Circle Forward 2, but the best move to go with direct after Quad Circle Forward 2 is down for 3+4, because this is a very heavily damaging move. So you want to front load your combo, hence you go for down for 3+4. And this is a move that allows you to continue your combo, right? So you want to front load your combo with as much damage as you can. And also remember that the combo scaling bottoms out at 30%. This is a very important concept because different ways to extend the combo decrease this bottom, bring this bottom lower and lower. So you'll see when I talk about wall breaks, floor breaks, heat, and rage, all of those options, we are going to see this bottoming out of this combo scaling, damage scaling. It will the bottom limit will be lowered even further. So what that means essentially is that we want to do as much damage up front and then extend the combos at the very end. So in any case, let's first look at the basic structure of Dragunov's BNB combo. And that would be very simple: 4-4 into full crouch 1-4. And then from we bound with the sneak 2 or Quad Circle Forward 2, which you get for free when you go for a full crouch 1-4, right? So you bound the opponent, and once you've bounded the opponent, you can run up to them, dash up to them, and do down for 3+4, and follow it up with 2-1 into sneak 4 or 2-1 into sneak 1+2. So, and if you're wondering what do I mean by sneak, how am I going into sneak, I'm just holding down forward after pressing 2-1, holding down for to go into sneak, 1+2 to do the shoulder. So the full combo would look something like for right. That's how you would structure Dragunov's BNB combo from almost any of his launchers. There are some launchers that don't work with this structure, but most of his combos do do work with 4-4 sneak 1-2, right? This applies for quad circle for 4. But in combos like not quad circle forward for quad circle forward 2. So in combos like this, where you've hit the opponent a lot of times, where you have a lot of hits in a single combo, you won't be able to get the full ender where you do down for 3+4 to 1 sneak 4 or sneak 1+2. You're not going to be able to get the whole thing. You usually in those cases want to just go with 2-1 sneak 4, right? For example, in the combo that I showed you for down for quad circle forward 2, you want to do something like that for 84 damage. And what you can do, since we are sacrificing some hits at the very end, what you can do is you can even improve and increase the amount of hits. That's where all the combo videos or whatever comes from, is you want to find ways to sneak in as many hits as you want, as you can, essentially. So for example, here I can actually I can cancel the full crouch 1-4 into actually a 4-1 sneak 2. If I can do it properly. Yeah. Right, something like that, just to do even more damage and wall carry the opponent even further. So and when we're talking about front loading Dragunov's combos from all the discovery that I and other Dragunov mains have done, the most damaging hits that Dragunov has are down for 3+4 and quad circle forward 3+4. So if you can fit these two in, or either of these in at the front of the combo, that's where you do the maximum amount of damage with your combos. For example, for crouch dash 1, what you can do is down for 3+4, but you can also get a quad circle for 3+4 as well. Right, so you can get a full damaging combo there as well. So that's one thing, that every time you launch the opponent, you need to make sure that you front load the damage so that you do as much damage as possible. Secondly, you need to, if you look at the damage option down there, the damage value, the combo scaling bottoms out at 30%. For normal combos, it bottoms out at 30%. But in other situations, this can go down, and we will talk about them in different cases. So these are the few things that you need to keep in mind. And another thing is gravity. So if I launch the opponent and I just hit them with 1 jabs, you can see how far the opponent goes. And I'm able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits in, right? But if I do the 2 jab instead, which does more damage, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can only get 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. The opponent starts flying away from me much faster than they do during when I'm doing the 1 jab. Right? Look at how far they go away from me when I'm doing all 4 jabs here. Right, look at how far they travel. So this is also another thing, another way to prevent infinites, is that this combo gravity, the more hits you do, the further they fly away. This is the reason why you can't actually connect down for 3+4 and 2-1 sneak options at the ender, because you consumed so much gravity that by that time each hit throws the opponent far enough away that all these options do not connect. So you have to make a compromise between down for 3+4 down 4 or 2-1 sneak 4, right? So that's the basic idea, the basic concept of how combos work and how they are constructed. Now let's quickly talk about heat and rage mechanics. So, keeping in mind what we've discussed in the previous section, where we discussed the combo scaling and everything, now let's discuss how heat and rage work during your combos. How would you get some extra damage in or get some extra wall carry in using heat when you're during your combos? So, the first thing that we need to talk about is combo scaling. When you when you use combo extension options that this game provides, like wall break, like heat and everything, they actually lower the bottom limit of your combo scaling. For example, if you use your heat during a combo, the bottom for combo scaling goes from 30% to, I believe, 21-ish percent. So if I give you a very simple example that we discussed about earlier, a typical combo would bottom out at 30%. But if I start the combo, you can see how it has already bottomed out at 21, right? If I do, if I use heat at the very beginning, my combo goes from 30% bottom to 21% bottom. So more hits actually do less damage. So the only real viable option to use heat during combos is to use it as late as possible. For example, for Dragunov's down for 2 combos, the way I use heat, or the way heat is supposed to be used, is down for 2 going into his B&B option. After down for 3+4, that's when you activate his heat. So let's look at it again. And that's where you can get other extra hits in, right? Even though you were getting 2-1 before, what you can get now is you can get another 3+4, down for 3+4 in. So let's look at how that looks like. Right, and you're able to connect the 2-1 into sneak 4 for down for 2 combo if you just do a micro dash and then do down for 3+4. So let's look at that real quick. I forgot what I was supposed to do. Oh. Oh, I don't know why this is missing at the very end, and I just, okay. For some reason, my brain is refusing to land the full combo. Don't worry, I'm going to get it this time. Yeah, there you go. So this is what your combo would look like, and look at the amount of wall carry that we increased after that hit as well. So that's essentially how you would use heat when it comes to Dragunov specifically, or other characters as well. Usually you will use it after bounding them, right? Something like that you can use to extend or whatever, but Dragunov gets it down for 3+4, and then he can activate his heat. That's why these moves that screw the opponent, that send the opponent like twirling in the air, you see how Kazuya goes twirling, Kazuya gets screwed in the air. These are really good for combo extensions. That's why it works after down for 2 plus got circle forward 2 as well. So for maximum amount of damage and wall carry, this is how you would use heat. But if you look at different options that Dragunov has to use heat from his different launchers, it's actually not really worth it to use heat for to increase your damage. simply because the increase in damage is just not that much. Unless you know that you can close out the round with just a few more points of damage, there really isn't any point in activating heat during the combo, except for the fact that once you do activate the heat, then ending the combo in 2-1 sneak 4 throws the opponent down, and you can run up to the opponent and pressure them while you are in heat. So that's the only positive I can think of, outside of the fact that you can do a bit more damage to close out the rounds. That's where you should be focusing. That's when you should be using his heat if possible. Right now I'm in his face with heat activated. So this is a very brief explanation, or actually there isn't much to add unless I go into every single launcher that Dragunov has. I think this is a very good starting point for everyone. The way you use heat is after you bound the opponent, you go for down for 3+4, and then you just activate the heat, right? And if you've landed too many hits, then don't go for the full down for 3+4 2-1 sneak 4. Just go for 2-1 sneak 4, right? And usually what I tell people is that as your combo ender, sneak 1+2 is always the better option, because it throws the opponent away for the same amount of damage, throws them far enough away that they usually hit the wall. But when you're activating your heat, going for the sneak 4 option is actually much better, simply because you spike the opponent to the ground and then you can run up to them and pressure them with your heat. Right. So with that, let's talk about what happens when you have rage, or when should you activate Dragunov's rage. So rage is very similar to heat, although rage is a way to extend Dragunov's combos, heat is a way to end them, but they are practically used at the same level, at almost the same place. So I'm going to go with down for 2 combo that we've seen so far. And the way, if you're going to modify it, if you have heat, you're going to go for the whole combo. Down for 3+4, you activate your rage, right? Very simple, very straightforward. You will always catch the opponent after the down for 3+4, regardless of how long the combo went. But you can also mix and match this with heat, which I usually do if I'm going for, if I'm losing the round, if I have very little health left and the opponent has a ton of health left, what I usually do is that I do consume both heat and rage, and then I'm in the opponent's, run up to the opponent with my heat activated. So the way this looks like is down for 2. Right? So you do heat into down for 3+4 and then activate the rage. It's just 1 extra point of damage for 50% health gone, right? Just 50% health gone from a down for to 15 frame punish. Although you consumed a ton of resources, you actually are left with heat activated. So once this is done, this is done playing the animation, what you can usually do, or what I usually do, is I just run up to them and consume the heat. They usually stand up, block, something like that. Yeah, like you still have the heat pressure going on. So this is a very good way to, if you're losing a round, to consume all your resources and get the maximum amount out of it as much as you can. So now we have a basic understanding of how Dragunov's combos work, with heat, with rage, with everything. But let's look at how wall breaks and floor breaks and all of those mechanics come into play when playing against Dragunov. Okay, so next let's talk about stage interactions to extend your combos. For example, wall blast that we have in Dragunov stage here. There are two different types of wall blasts. One that throws the opponent to the other side and you get a full combo, which we have in this stage, and the other where the opponent is thrown on the same side and you get a wall combo. We're going to talk about both, but let's start with this sort of a wall blast. So there are three different situations where you might get this sort of a wall blast. One is when the opponent is at the corner and you get the wall blast from something like this. The second situation is where you're already launched the opponent, you're doing your combo, you get to the wall before you bound the opponent. And the third situation is when you've already bounded the opponent and then you place them on the wall and you get the wall blast. So we're going to talk about all three situations and what the optimal combo is from each situation. But let's first of all talk about a wall combo that you get from that is initiated from the wall blast itself. So this can be, Dragunov has a ton of moves that initiate the wall blast, like back 1-2, like down for 3+4, like back 4. A ton of moves initiate this wall blast. So most of the moves that you will throw out when the opponent's back is to the wall, most of the hardest hitting moves that Dragunov have will launch the opponent at this point. So what do you do after you've launched the opponent? If you don't have that great of an execution, the BNB works perfectly fine after this. So if I launch the opponent here, 4-4, right, the full combo actually works perfectly well here. But if you want to get a bit more damage, what you can do is you can add a down for 3+4, right? And you get the full combo as well. The third situation, you can actually get even more hits, since the combo that you get from this wall blast is the same combo that you can get from his quad circle for 2 option. So for the full combo, it would look something like this, right? And then you place them at the wall, because this has massive amount of wall carry. This combo has massive amount of wall carry as well. You place them at the other wall. So this is a full wall to wall combo, but you don't get the wall blast on the other side. If you already consumed a stage interaction on one wall, you're not going to get it on the other side, but you can place them at the wall and get a bit more extra damage. So that's how you would structure your combo, or go for the maximum amount of damage from this stage interaction. Did I miss some? I think I missed down for 3+4. In any case, let's move on to how you would modify your combo if you reach the wall in the middle of your combo. So let's talk about wall blast while you already launched the opponent, but before you've bounded them. How do you carry after that wall blast? But before we talk about that, just to quickly mention the combo scaling. Yes, if you wall blast the opponent or do any sort of stage interaction like wall break, like floor break, your combo scaling bottom limit will definitely go down to 21 in this case. But let's talk about how to modify your combo. The example I'm going to give is the same thing. For example, you're doing the BNB and you realize that you've approached the wall. So the best thing to do in that case is to cancel out of your combo and place them on the wall, right? One thing that I will mention, this is why I do personally prefer to throw in a 4-1 with my combos, because they give me a lot more wall carry. That gives me a lot more time to think about how far the wall is and modify my combo accordingly. But if you're used to the typical BNB, we will talk about that version. But this version does require you to cancel out of your combo, out of your full crouch 1-4. So what you want to do once you place them at the wall, the best the wall blast move that I found is down for 3+4, because it's a mid. As you saw when I tried for 3, it's a high move, so it usually goes over the opponent depending on how high you place them. But still, the reliable option that I find is down for 3+4. So let's go over the combo one more time. So once you've bound them, you want to do something, and this won't work. You see how much gravity we've consumed? If we do 2-1 after the bound, after we've bounded them and we've consumed the wall blast as well, we've consumed so much gravity that 2-1 just throws them across the map. So what we want to do instead to end our combo is down for 3+4 into a down 4, right? So that will be our ender. Or if you're coming from Tekken 7 days, forward 3 into 1+2 works as well, depending on if you want to throw them at the wall, if you want to throw them far from you and then pressure them at the wall or something like that. If you feel like that's something you can do, then go for a forward 3 sneak 1+2. Otherwise, let's just do the whole combo. Oh, I missed that. Okay, I don't usually miss this cancel as much as I am missing right now. Right, so this will be your whole combo. I didn't do the blue spark. I think I didn't do the blue spark full crouch 1-4. That's why I got 80. I think you get 81 there. You can also activate your heat and everything if you have rage. Obviously, you can connect all of those options at the end of this combo as well, but keep in mind the gravity and the damage scaling. It might not be worth actually activating any of those, depending on obviously how close to death the opponent is. You can go for those options. But that's how you would modify the combo for without screwing the opponent. Now let's look at how you would actually do it if you've already screwed the opponent, in which case you don't have a lot of options. And from all of the research that I've done, forward 3, which no longer connects. Forward 3 is the best option that you have, right? It does connect, don't worry about that. If you already bounded them, right, you have a few options, but if you're going for damage, in my opinion, for 3 is the best option. Let's look at down for 3+4, down for just for the sake of completion. I forgot what I was supposed to do. Right, 77 damage, equivalent damage. If you want to go for this option, that's perfectly fine. If you want to go for the other option, which I completely forgot. Okay. I'm making absolutely stupid mistakes right now. Right? If you get the blue spark version, you get 78 damage. So in my opinion, if you already bounded the opponent on the other side of the wall bound, you just go for 3. You just need to be a little bit quicker with it compared to down for 3+4, down 4. But other than that, I think this is the best option, and there's not much to add there since forward 3, full crouch 1+4 won't throw the opponent far enough away to hit the wall or anything like that. I think it's very straightforward. The best option is forward 3, right? So moving on, let's talk about the other kind of wall blast. So I'll see you in the other stage. So here we have the other kind of wall blast that leaves the opponent on the same side where the wall is. For example, just to show you the interaction here, you see how the opponent flies up in the air and then drops on the same side where the opponent, where you are, which means that unless you can switch side, which is not going to happen with Dragunov, you're stuck with a wall combo instead of a full combo. Luckily with Dragunov, you can also get 80 plus damage from his wall combo, since Dragunov is the, as far as I understand it, the only character in the game who gets a wall bound. So you practically get a full combo nonetheless. So let's see what this combo is. Basically, what you can do here is you have some leniency to place the opponent back at the wall. So we'll go with the same rule that we had. We front load our combo damage. So we go with down for 3+4 instead of any other combo string to place the opponent back at the wall, right? For example, we can do a down 4-1, down 4-1-3 if we want to place them back at the wall, and then do the wall grab. If I can only do it properly. Right, and then follow it up with a proper combo. Why did that not work? Oh, I used the wrong move anyway. In any case, but what you should be doing is down for 3+4. Now, what I would prefer to do after down for 3+4 is 4-1 to place them at the wall, but as you can see, that doesn't work. Right? Now, what I would, even though I step back a little, it's just not consistent enough. So what instead I do is down for 3+4, 2-1. That places them on the wall consistently. And then go for your running grab. That's usually pretty consistent if you do it properly. And then you get the full wall combo for 83 damage. So this is practically a full combo worth of damage. So for Dragunov at least, these wall blasts are really, really, really good, right? Since he can get the maximum amount of damage out of them. So from a distance, now let's talk about how you would utilize this sort of a blast when you're already in the middle of a combo. And let's first talk about without screwing them before you wall blast them, right? So I'm going to show you two versions, one with the BNB combo and one with my 4-1 combo. So you can see the difference and see why I prefer the 4-1 over the just going with the BNB option. So after launching the opponent, you can do 4-4, and 4-1 isn't the only option, right? There is GDS, version with just a down for 1 and everything. So you can experiment as much as you want. I'm going to show you these two versions. So from a distance, you can do 4-4 and just I'm going to use the 1+2 option since we are already in the crouch, and you can use the 1+2 from sneak to initiate the wall blast. That's what we are going to use here. That this is the most reliable option I found from to get the most amount of damage is just 4-1 into sneak 2 for the bound, and then 3-1 into 1+2, right? So just one more time. This will work at a slight distance as well. But for that distant option, what I'm going to show you is my option, my combo, because we do 4-1 at the beginning, we can cover a lot more ground, right? And just look at the amount of damage we are able to squeeze out of this 88, 89 if you get the blue spark version. So 89 damage, one wall blast, right? So that's how you would modify this combo if you're able to get to the wall. And in this stage, Dragunov should almost always be able to get to the wall without bounding them, right? If you want to extend your combos for wall bound, if you feel like you're able to reach the wall, you will be able to reach the wall. Depends on what stage you're on. For example, if a stage like this, which is much narrower, much closer, I would always suggest to go with the 2-1 option. But oh, sorry, the 4-1 option. But JDCR's down to with a sneak cancel will actually wall carry a little bit further. I have a different wall carry combo that carries the opponent even further than JDCR's option, but I will make it a completely separate video and explain that combo in detail, because I've done a ton of research to figure out what is the best option to wall carry from his down 4-2. So just look forward for that video. I'll be recording that video today, right? So you should be able to get it in like 1 or 2 days maximum when I'm done editing and everything. So keeping this in mind, so you have two options. In my opinion, this is the superior option, and there really isn't this is usually consistent actually. There isn't really any reason for not to go with this option for that ton of damage. So next, let's look at how you modify the combo if you already bounded the opponent. So as I mentioned, we are going to now look at how to modify this combo for bounded opponents, for already bounded combos. And I've done a ton of research. The option that does a lot of damage and is that I find is the best one is to, after the bound, just do down for 3+4, 2-1 into sneak 1+2. Very simple, very straightforward. You're not going to get another bound or anything like that. So just go with this option. And from what I can tell, if you can place the opponent with on the wall with a down for 3+4 and then wall blast them with a down for 3+4 as well, that's where you squeeze the maximum amount of damage. So that's something to keep in mind for all sorts of wall interactions as well. So let's just go over the combo once more. You do have to like micro dash into down for 3+4. So I forgot to do that the last time. 9 to 2 damage, one wall blast, right? You're you're above 90% damage. So this is all the interactions with wall blast options that you have. I might name it wall bound sometimes or something else. If I mispronounced it, misnamed it, just ignore that. When I'm thinking about, since English is my first language, I just mess up this sort of thing. But in any case, in the next section, let's look at wall breaks and balcony breaks, and then we are going to look at full floor breaks, and that should cap off the this video. So before we begin wall breaks, floor breaks, there's one simple concept to keep in mind, that in Tekken 8 there are wall breaks and then there are hard wall breaks or hard floor breaks. What that means is that you have to break that wall or break that floor twice instead of one time. So if I change the restart position to wall, this stage has that is the wrong wall. This stage has a hard wall break. So if we move the opponent to the breakable wall and reset the position here, you can see even though the wall is breakable, the first time I hit it, it doesn't break. Only the second time I'll do the same, it'll go through and let me do the full combo, right? So just be aware of when you've already broken the wall. So when the wall has already been hit once, just keep a mental track of it, so that next time, as soon as you break the wall, you're ready for the combo. You're ready with your inputs. Uh, Other than that, as you saw, the only last thing to mention is that you can break the wall twice in the same combo, but keep in mind the penalty, right? I'm already at 21 combo scaling, so that will happen with wall breaks, floor breaks, everything. So let's just quickly jump into the combos themselves. So now let's look at how you would structure your combo at the wall for this wall break, right? Let's suppose you're pressuring the opponent here and you suddenly get a lucky hit and you wall splat them. So how would you continue with this combo? So you go with a down for 3+4 to break the wall, right? There are a ton of different options to break the wall here, and all of them are viable. Don't bound them here, or you will lose a ton of damage. But there are a ton of different options to break the wall here. What you want to do, what you're aiming for, is to get as much damage as possible before breaking this wall, or with the wall break hit as well. So let's just go with a basic scenario, and I'll show you how to ramp up the damage, how the different options interact with each other. So let's start with a very basic down for 3+4 into down for 3+4. Uh, the combo you get from here is the same as you get from your crouch dash 2, right? From crouch dash 2, you do down for 3+4, and then you go into your BNB, right? So the same combo will work here as well, but you place them at the wall, right? So you want to then bound them at the wall with Dragunov's wall grab. So what that would look like is, it's best to cancel out of your full crouch 1-4 and you get 88 damage out of this. Now keep this 88 damage in mind and I'll show you a different combo route, which is practically the same combo route, just the beginner is a bit different, and you'll see the disparity between the damages. Right, 97. We've almost done 8 points of damage more. Sorry, 10 points, almost 10 points of damage more in this case. The only difference was that the wall splat was different, right? That's the only difference. The reason being is that this launcher, if you look at the combo scaling, it remains at 100%. The only time it goes down is when you actually break the wall. So that's a massive amount of a massive thing for you to actually follow up with. So you would think that the more damage that you do before breaking the wall, the better, but that's not always the case. There are traps that you can fall into. For example, if I do even if I do a single hit here, but then I take too long to break the wall, I did too many hits to break the wall. You can see the knee missing there, the full crouch 1-4, the 4 hit missing there, and that will miss reliably, right? You've done too many hits beforehand, right? You're not going to be able to get the combo there. But and the culmination of the two would be back 1-2 into back 4-3. You get 50 damage in. When you initiate the combo, when you break the wall, you're getting 50 damage in. So you would think that this should do the maximum amount of damage. Since you do also get the full combo, what you miss out on is the last hit here. You actually can't get the last hit there, which significantly drops the overall combo damage. So you have to be very careful with how you construct your combo. So instead of just finding an ender for that, I'm actually going to show you the maximum amount of damage you can get at this point. And even if you get down for 3+4 wall splat or back 3 wall splat, the best option to follow up with is, yeah, crouch dash 1+2. I didn't even do the blue spark there, so 100 damage, that's actually 101 damage. So that is the maximum amount of damage you can get from one wall break. That's the most amount of damage I was able to find there. And you get the full combo damage. The full combo, look at that damage. Beautiful, absolutely. This is why people fear Dragunov. This is why Dragunov is one of the most fun characters to play in this game. So just to reiterate, if you can get a wall hit, the best way to break the wall is quad circle forward 1+2, right? Just go with that. Regardless of how you get the hit, just go for that option and you will always reliably hit this back wall, and you will always reliably get regardless of what you initiate the wall splat with. I missed the combo there, but you get the idea. So now let's look at how you would modify the combo in other situations. Okay, so now let's work on getting this combo when you've already launched the opponent mid stage and you haven't bounded them yet and you get to the wall. So we are going to talk about a few different versions of it, but I'm going to start at the very, very basic, very straightforward. And we're just going to go with the BNB, down for 3+4, 3, 1, sneak 2. Now here, you just get the wall combo directly and you get 78 damage, right? After breaking the wall, I did down for 3+4 into 3, 1, sneak 2, right? To bound the opponent and then just ran up to them. Because they fall so close to the wall, we just have to directly go into our wall combo. So just to get one extra point of damage, what we can do is modify this combo by not doing the down for 3+4, instead placing them at the wall manually and getting like 79 damage. So that's not a big difference, but there it is. So the second version that I'm going to show you is if we can get the 3+4, right? If we can get the 3+4, then we get the sneak 1+2 to break the wall. That gives us a bit more damage. If you think you can place the opponent, and I messed that one up. If you think you can place the opponent on the wall with the sneak 3+4, that will do a bit more damage. So that's always good. We will go with the proper version and I will mess the combo up. Again, I will mess the combo up. And I will mess the combo up for the third time. Isn't that absolutely awesome? And that gives you 84 damage. So that's much better than what we had before, 79 damage, I believe. So if you are like in the middle of the stage, somewhere like somewhere far away from the wall, you can't just directly get into the BNB. You can't get to the wall with the BNB. So what do you do in that case? In that case, you cancel out of the BNB, right? Like we do. Yeah, I've been recording for so long right now that my thumb is absolutely giving up right now. Right. Obviously, you have to be close enough to the wall to get the cancel in as well. So let's try from here. Hopefully this should work. Yep. So you see this, when you get the cancel in, you get actually, you're doing 3 more hits or 2 more hits essentially. So you don't get the 3-1 into sneak 2. Instead, what you do is forward 3 into sneak 2. So you decrease the amount of hits on the other side. That's how you adjust your combos when you do a ton of hits. Okay, I don't know why this cancel is failing. This, I can usually do this cancel very reliably. So in this case, we won't be in time to get the full down for 3+ for this whole combo. Instead, we just go for the wall grab combo. So that's going to look something like this. Very good. Just bear with me here. Okay. You know what? I'm going to get this combo and then edit the rest of it out. Isn't that nice? You immediately get it as soon as you think about taking a break, and you immediately get the combo. So in any case, that's how you would modify the combo if you've brought the opponent all the way from one side of the arena to the other side. So now let's look at how you would modify this combo if you've already gotten the screw on the other side, right? Something like this. What would you do? You would essentially go for a simple hit like forward 3 into a 1+2, a typical combo ender that you can go for. But since you've already done a ton of hits, you're not going to be able to get the full down for 3+4, right? So just in case you already gotten the screw, just think of an extra combo ender, right? This, you're not doing anything extra there. Right, you don't get a lot of damage simply because you consumed a ton of damage on the other side, but essentially if you've bounded them on the other side, then I personally, what I would suggest is just don't go for the wall break. Instead, go for a wall combo and go for the wall pressure. That's a much better option if you've already bounded the opponent on the other side. Then instead of going for a wall break combo, because you once you wall break, your damage drops off and everything. So what I would suggest is sticking on this side of the wall and not breaking it. If you do break it, if you want to go to the other side, then just make sure, or if you just want that extra bit of damage to kill the opponent, just end it the way you would end a normal combo with a down for 3+4, down 4, or I'm pretty sure you won't be able to connect 2-1 into sneak 4, but let's try it out. Yeah, I don't think that is going to work. Okay, that does work. In any case, that's how you would actually treat this. If you do break the wall while you bound it on the other side, you're going to just treat it as a combo ender. And otherwise, I would personally suggest, if you bound them on this side, just go for combo into pressure, right? That, in my opinion, is the best option here. So next, let's look at balcony breaks. So first of all, for this balcony break, the same rule applies that we saw in the wall break option, is that if we break the wall, you see that the first hit is 100%, but the same thing applies for back to 1. If there are 2 hits, You see, until we get down there, our hits are uh, 100%, not this option. Our hits don't scale, right? 100% damage. So let's just, keeping that in mind, the maximum amount of damage you will be able to squeeze out of it is back in 1-2, but you don't throw this option out willy-nilly, right? Because this is unsafe at -12. This is unsafe at -12, yeah. So, but if you do get it, then the reward is definitely worth it. This is more damage than getting some wall splat like this. So let's move on. You definitely get the BNB here, no problem, right? If you want to go with the BNB option, you definitely get that, no problem. But the goal technically is to get to the other wall, right? And that's where the problem comes, because I have not been able to get to the other wall cleanly without actually consuming the bound. So all the options I've discovered, you have to go for a bound before you can get to the other wall. So the most damaging option from here is if you go for a clean quarter circle forward 3+4. And if you're struggling with the timing like I was, right, the timing that I've discovered is when you see Kazuya bounce up and start to come down. That's when you go for the quarter circle forward 3+4. That's when it lands. But you'll definitely need to get your timing down for this instead of like, if you don't have the execution, if you don't have a perfect quarter circle for 3+4 to land there, I would just suggest going with, and I also go with just a 4-1 there. Initiate the combo 4-1. You can bound there, and then you can place the opponent at the wall with down for 3+4. Right, so that's what the full combo would look like. But there is that's as much as I think we need to discuss with the wall breaks. And if you do get a bound before breaking the wall, then you treat it as a wall ender, just like wall breaks. You treat it as a combo ender. There is a way to get to the wall without actually consuming your bound. If you're addicted with Dragunov's crouch cancel combos, then that's the option. But let's see that option next. So the only reliable option I've found to get to the other wall without bounding the opponent requires crouch cancels, and requires very clean crouch cancels. So if you have those, this is the only situation where I found the crouch cancel legacy knowledge to actually return you some advantage. So other than that, I have not been able to find any option to get to the other wall without bounding the opponent cleanly. So if you have any options, please let me know, but I'm going to show you the one option that I've discovered with crouch cancels. Oh, so what you want to do there is 3-1, not right. That's what you want to do there. And that gives you 72 damage. So that's the only option I've discovered so far that gets to the other wall cleanly. Other than this, I've shown you what the options are. And so this is, so next let's move on to wall plus balcony break that we have in the other stage. Okay, so let's talk about the wall break and the balcony break on this stage. You might know that this stage has a hard wall break like we discussed, but it's immediately followed by a balcony break. So what is the best option to go with in this situation? First of all, this is a hard wall break, so everything that we discussed during the other hard wall break section, all of that applies. So I'm not going to repeat it here. So the combo that the way we are going to break this wall for maximum damage is back 1-2 into crouch dash 1+2. Right, so this is how we are going to break the wall for maximum damage. And then once we've done that, we are also not going to do back 3-4, even though that does the maximum amount of damage for the same reason that we discussed before. So unlike before, even though we are not, even though when we break this wall, back 4-3 gives us the maximum amount of damage from this break, the overall damage is much lower than the option that I'm going to show you. It's only 4 points lower, but it's better to go with the option that I'm showing you, which is back 1-2 into a sneak 1+2. So it's 48 damage, but you are on the outside. And let's talk about what the best option to go with is in this balcony, because once you're here, you're very quickly able to get to the other side. But again, as we discussed, we want to front load our combo as much as possible, especially because we are going through 2-stage interactions here. So that when we break through the first hard wall, the bottom, the combo scaling bottom will be lower to 21%. And when we break through the balcony, it will be lower than to 19%. If we break through both of these in the same combo, then the overall combo scaling will be lowered all the way down to 19%. So every hit will only do 19% of its damage. So we need to make sure that we make each and every single hit count as early as possible. So even though something like this will obviously work, depends on how you initiate your wall splat, however you wall splat the opponent. I'd suggest always go for the sneak 1+2 option. You almost always have enough time to actually process what happened and then go for the wall break, right? It's not an immediate thing. You have plenty of time to realize that you've gotten a splat and then go for this option. So always go for the quadricycle forward 1+2 option. So just to demonstrate the maximum amount of damage we can get out of this, I'm going to go with this option. Once you're outside, you can get down for 3+4, right? So what we are going to do is down for 3+4, 4-4 to get into the crouching state. The reason we are doing that is because we want to break through this balcony with a 1+2 as well. So it's 4-4, 1+2, right? So back 1-2, crouch dash 1+2, down for 3+4, 4-4, 1+2. So we break out of both of these at 71 damage, and I'm just going to show you once again the combo scaling. You can see at this point we are at 21%, and when I go out here, I'm at 19%. Right, so now our objective once we've landed here is to get to the other wall. So how do we do that? I'm going to reiterate the entire combo. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing high execution here. It's 3-1 sneak and then down for 3+4. 3-1 sneak 2 and then down for 3+4 to place them at the wall. That's one option. You can also, once you land, you can hold the down button to recover crouching and just go for full crouch 1-4 into sneak 2. Both of them do the exact same amount of damage, so you don't need to. The reason I'm going into plenty of detail in this one because is that I'm not going to explain any other situation. I'm just going to explain this max damage combo for this particular situation because almost everything we've discussed in some other situation. So let's quickly get through this and move on to floor breaks. So back 1-2, crouch dash 1+2, down for 3+4, 4-4, 1+2, 3-1 sneak 2, down for 3+4, and your wall grab. Gives you 94 damage. Even though our combo scaling went all the way down to 19%, we were able to get through the other wall and get 94 damage. So this is, in my opinion, what the combo damage should look like with Dragunov. Obviously, again, I'll say the same thing. The heat and the rage that we discussed applies to all the combos. If you want to go into heat or rage, whatever you want to go into, do it at the very end and try to do it before you hit the wall. But if you have rage, I would suggest, if you're about to get the wall, just get to the wall and initiate rage art instead of doing your heat. In that way you can squeeze out as much damage as you can while preserving your hit. So that's how you would that's the maximum amount of damage you can get in this situation. I'll just go over this one more time and then we can move on to floor breaks. Just yeah. So this is a pretty standard setup. You can I'm going to show you the full crouch 1+2 option there. Let's do that. Okay, that was what's the damage here? Oh, 54. So I didn't even check this situation before. Let's see what. Ooh, okay, we can do a micro dash. I did not. This is like a counter hit situation. Yeah, this doesn't count. This is a counter hit situation. It might be fun to explore some other time, but it is a counter hit situation, so I'm not going to count it. So the same amount of damage, just a different route if you prefer this one. So let's move on to floor breaks. Okay, next let's talk about floor breaks. So this stage that I'm on has a hard floor break, which means that you have to try to break this floor, slam the opponent into the ground twice instead of just once. And once you've done that, for example, Dragunov's 1+2 throw breaks the ground, right? Once you've done that, the floor will then have this purple hue, which indicates that the floor is ready to be broken. You can see the color change if you use any sort of a floor break move. This goes for the combo as well. If I reset it back to where the floor now has that hard floor break requirement, I can try to break the floor, but it's not going to. The combo will in fact end. So if the color isn't purple, you just go for your normal combo. And if the color is purple, let's talk about how and when you want to actually break this floor. When it comes to floor breaks, the combo damage scaling is extremely important because you want to make sure that the scaling doesn't kick in until you're at the very end. And just it's floor break in combos. Floor break is there to just add a couple more hits to your combos. You don't want to drop down the stage really soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show Dragunov's BNB with one where you break the floor before you bound the opponent, and the other one at the very end. The move that you should always go for, in my opinion, to break the ground beneath Dragunov is his crouch dash 4. Since it's already a part of Dragunov's combo, it's one of the ways you end Dragunov's combos. It's always there. You can always end the Dragunov's combo with crouch dash 4, and it will always reliably break the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two different versions of the same BNB. First, let's show that BNB and so we can compare the damage to the breaked version and to all the versions that we are going to test. I'm not going to break the floor first and see the baseline damage first. Okay, I forgot to actually do that. And now I forgot to actually get the blue spark. Yeah, there it is. So without the wall hit, that would be 69 damage, right? So if we add a floor break here, I didn't do the blue spark version though. So that's 66 damage. So you see we've gone down in damage because our combo scaling went down to 21%. So I would suggest not breaking the floor until the very end. And in my opinion, if you are able to break the floor instead of breaking the floor during a combo, just do the 1+2 throw, because this throw gives you, at least gives you a full combo, right? You get a lot more damage out of what was a simple throw for Dragunov. So that in my opinion is the best use case. Using Dragunov's using the floor break in a combo, I personally think you should only go for if you're going to get the kill. Other than that, I suggest just leaving the combo as it is and not going for the break version. But let's see what happens when we break the floor at the very end. And yes, I'm doing the BNB on purpose. I'm not doing any sort of a, a really optimized combo, just so we have a very baseline understanding of everything. You can go for whatever version of this combo that you want to do. This floor break applies to almost every version. I'm just going to go with the BNB version, in which case we break the floor at the very end. And you can either go for forward 3, 1+2. Now this connects at 77 damage, by the way. You saw we did quite a bit more damage. So breaking the floor at the very end is beneficial. But once you've broken the floor, what should you go for? What move should you go for? As you saw, I went for forward 3, 1+2. This doesn't connect with all the different launchers that he has. This doesn't connect with, for example, quad circle forward 2. Let me see if I can show it to you here. Yeah, the stage isn't long enough. That should have connected actually. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that, but the idea is that because you're doing so many hits here, you're not able to connect forward 3, 1+2. Let's go with something else in that case. For example, let's do something like this, right? The opponent flies off too far for you to connect that. In this case, and damage wise as well, the most reliable option is forward 3. You have to do it really quickly. So unless your execution is really bad, I would suggest just go for this option every single time. Let's connect this on the BNB that we've been using so far. Right, you should be able to connect it. Did I get the blue spark version? I'm pretty sure they have the same amount of damage. I might be mistaken though. Now I'm in my own head. Okay. Just that was not the blue spark version. Yeah. Okay, it is 76 damage. So 1 point less, but much more reliable. This will work with the combo example that we were looking at for quad circle forward. Right, this will connect properly. So that, in my opinion, is the only realistic way to go for the floor break stuff. Instead, just if the opponent doesn't have good throw breaks, which in lower elos they almost never do, right? Just you're getting a full combo worth of damage out of your 1+2 break. I think that's the best way to break the floor. So next, let's look at the Ortiz farm stage where you have the balcony break and this floor break at the same time. So talking about the Ortiz farm here, we have a balcony break into a floor break, right? But unfortunately, the floor break, even though it's not a hard floor break, I can break it immediately. It doesn't allow you to break the balcony and the floor in the same combo. That just doesn't work. So if you do something like this, that's not going to work. Instead, you have to go for a floor break separately. Once in here, this stage has floor blasts, right? The kind of floor blasts that are present in Dragunov stage. So everything we talked about there applies here. So I'm not going to discuss these floor blasts at all. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to the only thing that we should talk about this stage is that even though we've talked about balcony break in the helipad stage, the difference here is that the wall on the other side is much closer. So what they've done is that even though they don't let you break the floor, they let you get to the other wall on the other side much easily. So I'm going to show you the combo that you can get there easily with. And let's start with here. Obviously, this is not a hard wall break. This is a simple wall break, so anything will break the wall. Once you're there, just launch the opponent with Sucker for 3+4. The same indication that I told you there is what I'm using. The same visual indication for when to do the Sucker for 3+4 is when Kazuya starts to come down. He bounces up, and then when he starts to come down, that's when I do the Sucker for 3+4 to get the timing down. So right, you should be able to get that reliably, and you can get to the other wall much more reliably in this combo. I did not get the amount of damage that I was expecting. Maybe I tried it with this, but however, the what you should. Oh no, maybe I'm misremembering. Okay, yeah, I made a mistake there. So I'm just quickly going to test things out here. Yeah, 93 damage. Okay, this is what I was thinking about. So you do get, even if you get a simple hit like back 3+, down back 3+4, even if it's a one hit combo, it's a pretty decent amount of damage. And once you get the timing down for the crouch cancel, it's actually pretty doable. It's not that bad, right? You can pretty much do it consistently. In an online setting, you might drop it. Obviously, that's something to keep in mind. So if you're not able to get the timing down for quad sucker forward 3+4, what you can do instead is a down forward 1, right? It works pretty much the same. It does less damage, but works pretty much the same. You can get to the wall and you can do the same combo, no problem. So this would be your more reliable alternative option, especially in bad internet connections. So instead, if you have the ability or if you have the execution to get the crouch cancel combos instead, I'll show you an option for that. You can do 4-1 into cancel into, you can place them at the wall, right? Pretty straightforward. If you do the combo ender at the end, I wasn't paying attention, but that's, you would get the full combo there. Other than that, if you do want to like get to the wall without without either crouch cancel or down for 3+4, I guess you will have to spend your bound instead. So that hopefully gives you a detailed understanding of how all of these options work. And also, just to reiterate once more, instead, because I didn't go over rage and heat with all these different options, remember that you have those present anyway, so you can definitely consume those options if you need to, right? I do the bound into rage art, simple as that, right? So you can use these options as needed. If you want to consume heat in options like this, I mean, you're getting the wall, why would you need the heat? But keep the option in mind that you want to do the heat almost always after doing down for 3 plus 4, right? Almost always after down for 3 plus 4. Don't consume the heat right away. You can connect here, but that's a waste of your heat and waste of your combo damage. Other than that, same thing applies as any other balcony hit. If you get the bound before breaking through the balcony, use it, consider it as a combo ender and do it that way. But other than that, I hope I've given a detailed, thorough explanation of how to modify Dragunov's combos in every single stage for every single situation. Obviously, I haven't given every single one. I've tried to cover all of them at a higher level. But if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, do let me know for the next video. I can maybe clarify things. I can maybe, if I've missed some scenarios, if I've missed some certain situations, let me know. I will definitely make a follow-up to this video. Otherwise, the next one is is the down for 2 combo, which for wall carry. I've a new route that I've discovered. I will be discussing that route in the next video. One last thing, thank you so much for 422 followers as of the recording of this video. I've never even asked for subscribers or likes or anything like that, but the love that the community has shown me, I have nothing but gratitude. So thank you everyone for that. Thank you so much. I'm the next target is 1,000 subscribers, but for that I will have to be more consistent with uploading these videos, and that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. I will hopefully, now I'm not as busy with work as I was for the previous weeks, so I will be able to make all sorts of videos. So if you have any suggestions, any ideas, anything, if you want to know anything execution wise, combo wise, Dragunov, just basics wise, let me know. Otherwise, I will be uploading different videos based on different topics as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.